All right, good morning. I'd like to welcome all of you to GWU, George Washington University. I'm Dr. Susan Aronson, and thank you so much for coming today. GW has made the internet a key part of its strategic plan, and we do a lot of work here on a wide range of internet issues. So one of the things that we at GW think is very important is to get our students involved in citizenship, and that includes internet governance. You may be surprised to learn that at GW we do a lot of work on cybersecurity, digital rights, digital trade, and other internet governance issues. So we are so happy to have, again, for the second year, IGF USA. So now I'd like to introduce David Viorst, who along with Shane Tews is a co-chair of this effort. David?
Thank you, and thank you all for coming. My name is David Viorst. I'm the co-chair of the IGF USA, and I'd like to inform you, or I'm very proud to inform you, that we have an incredible program for you today. And I'd like to thank all of the people that made that possible. First, I'd like to start by thanking the GW staff, particularly Susan Aronson, Grace Sohn, and Alexa Smith-Rommel for their tireless efforts and last-minute heroics, without which we wouldn't be able to do this. I'd also like to thank all of our committee members, all of the people that helped organize this, all of our panel organizers, all of our amazing speakers and panelists, our moderators, and all of the volunteers. Without you guys, this wouldn't have happened either. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, without whose generous support we couldn't do this. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the MVP of the IGF USA this year and last year, Paul Brigner from the Internet Society. Without Paul, we wouldn't be here. And in fact, we are here because we all have one thing in common. We all care deeply about the future of the internet. Last year, my distinguished co-chair remarked on a panel that she didn't want to look back in 20 years, sadly, at how awesome the internet was. And in fact, the continued interoperability of the internet and the interconnection of nearly all the world, it's not a given. The continuation of this is not a given, it's a challenge. And that's really why we're here today, to take up that challenge. A lot of people criticize Fora like this because we're non-deliberative. In other words, we don't make policy, we don't make laws, we don't make software, and we don't make widgets. But it's exactly because of this that we do what it is we do, and bring the brightest people together from across stakeholder groups to produce, well, to break down silos and to produce a more informed discourse. And it's from that more informed discourse that the next generation of software, widgets, policy, and laws that will sustain the internet will come from. In fact, that more informed discourse is the well from which our solutions and path forward springs. So I can't think of a better way of kicking off a day of generating a more informed discourse than by shutting up myself and getting off the podium and turning it over to my other co-chair. She is the Chief Policy Officer at 463 Communications, a visiting scholar at the Enterprise Institute, and the co-chair of the Internet Governance Forum for the United States. It's my great pleasure, Shane Tews.
Thank you, David. I'm acting as kind of the MC for the day. So part of our challenge is, because we're on a college campus, we decided to kind of move us through the day like we're going through classes. We've limited the space in between events, and we've moved the coffee breaks into the rooms. So if you feel like you're getting shuffled a little bit, understand you'll be fed and watered when you get in the room. If you didn't pick up one of these programs, this is all online, including everybody's hashtags. We'd love for you to play along today with the social media as well as we're going. And I also want to thank everyone for she's often referred to herself, and as a true title, the Chief Catalyst Marilyn Cade, who has really been the driver between internet governance for many of the past years. She told us this year she went on the MAG, the Multi-Stakeholder Advisory Group, and was going to take her efforts more international, and that we needed to really take charge of this, and has been a mother duckling and has kind of followed us along, but she's really made sure that this all kind of stayed together. So I want to thank Marilyn for her continued effort to make sure that the IGF continues, especially in this really important year of WSIS Plus 10. I also want to thank David, who actually has been the day-to-day person who's managed this. When I first started working with him in February, I used to talk to him a couple times a week, and now I talk to him several times a day. And I guess we're going to have to start talking about sports or something after today, because I feel like it's one of those things where you used to talk about internet governance and no one really wanted to talk to you. And then he calls me now and he says, we have 678 people that have RSVP'd that they're attending. And I'd say standing room only is really fantastic. And then we got the news last night that we needed to change venues, and I really want to thank the support staff at George Washington, who said, all right, we'll make that happen. And they made this room, they turned it around for us so we could make sure that we had enough space for today. So they've done a great job. So on just a note, so we will be having lunch today in the area where you arrived. Right behind the welcome table is a cafeteria area, and that's where we'll be having 2 lunch speakers. So after your breakout session, that's where you want to head down for lunch, and then we will have breakouts again this afternoon, and then we will end the day up here, and then there will be a cocktail reception. So any questions along the day, feel free to grab me, or know that you can go to igf-usa.org, and all this information will be up there as well. So I'd like to introduce our first keynote speaker, Larry Strickling. Larry is this administration's key person on internet policy. He showed up quite a while ago, and I kind of think he didn't know he could turn a lot of this information over. He has amazing staff. His staff are fantastic. He's grown his staff to even more people that really understand the importance of the internet to the digital economy and the globe. But Larry didn't just hand this to his staff, he really took it on. So for those of you who follow the ICANN world, there was the ATRT1, the Accountability and Transparency Working Group that was initially started a lot of work, and he stayed in it, and you'd go to meetings and you go, Larry's actually there. And we then got used to kind of seeing Larry there and watching what's going on, but it's such a vitally important part of what's going on in the growth of the internet. I just can't thank him enough for all the time and effort that he's put towards this. And his staff recognize this, and they work just as hard as he do. So I just want to say thank you to Larry and the NTIA staff for all that they've been doing on both internet governance and the work in ICANN. So Larry, we're looking forward to you updating us on what's going on.